Sir, last time you have given an assignment, sir. But
On
in
which
that few topics are not yet covered, sir. Will you explain that again, sir?
you see, if you go here, SB integral calculus in this thread, then you can see here attendance, and I have uploaded whatever I have wrote in last class. It is given here, here class note, whatever. Okay, and whatever the assignment for my part, I have uploaded here. You can download from here this setting. Okay.
Sir,
Sir,
in that
class note is
assignment,
not
new
opening.
methods
So
that
please
all
No,
are not
I
disable
am
it.
not share. Oh, on John. Okay, let me share first. Then you can see.
Sir, you have not taught new method and gamma
Yeah,
beta.
I'll mute it all. You can see. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
So
sir,
today I am not allowing any guest. You should join through your institute email ID. Some people are trying. So here you see, if you go in this subject mathematics 101, then here three channels are there. GP sir will teaching single variable, LKD sir teaching multiple integral, and SB myself it is teaching integral calculus. And if you click here, then you can see this channel, and here you see last class I have taken. I'll also upload this one whatever I am writing here, and this is the whole integral calculus part, the assignment. That means some problems and some whatever I am going to teach, it is given here as a PDF file. You may download from here and you can get it, and whatever. So, and
Excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir,
yes.
that
Sir,
2022 class note
it
is
is
not
showing
opening.
that the file has been deleted, sir. For
Yes.
that class note
For
20
This
class
one,
note.
2212
No, no,
wasn't.
sir.
No, no, the
Class note.
class note.
this one.
When two files are sir, the
No, no,
recorded
no.
class
No,
notes
you
is
can download. No, it is there available. You check it. You check it. If require, I'll give again.
not
Sir,
So
please
given.
now
resend it
It's
tomorrow.
hidden.
Okay.
No, sir,
uh,
it's not downloading.
you can see if there is no, please someone mail me or chatting here. I'll upload again. But I'm
excuse me,
sure
Please
it
sir.
is
try
available.
to open one time.
Sure. You see.
Sir, may we have to write down the assignment in
Oh,
hard copy?
Deleted, sir. Class
hmm.
notes.
Okay. I'll upload again today. Fine. I don't know what is there is some setting problem, but here showing. And
Sir,
this
you
one.
have to upload in files
Sir,
because
the
after
assignment is
this,
opening. Sir, assignment
Ah,
is
this is
opening.
opening. Yeah. Okay, I'll upload again today.
No, it's fine. It's coming, sir.
Hmm. Okay,
Excuse me,
now
sir.
I should
Hello?
start. It is
Excuse me,
nine
sir.
o'clock.
Kindly turn on the recording. Turn on the
I'll
recording, please.
yes, sure. I'm
Excuse me,
doing.
sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, is that an assignment we need to do the sums and upload?
No. Nothing you need. You solve this one for exam purpose. Okay, this is one
Okay,
guideline
sir.
to solve it. And if you feel any problem, you can mail me, or I'll when I'll get, that is before after a few classes, then I'll, and you can ask the tutorial teacher also. That is Monday or
Okay,
Friday.
sir.
Hmm.
Sir, we have to start solve the problem after the full chapter. No, from now.
No,
So it's
whatever.
only for practice. It's only for practice.
Only for practice, yes. This is only for practice on guidelines. So there is no exact book, whatever we are teaching. That's why we have written one class note, and you just follow that. In this chapter, that means integral calculus, what is the included, this you can get the guideline.
Sir, just for practice only, no, sir.
Yes.
Upload then, sir.
Sir,
Yes. So let us start today.
sir, what is convergent and divergent?
What is convergent and divergent?
Yes, sir.
Let me start. Wait. So I should send my setting. So no, you are not allowed to talk now.
Then how we can
Okay. So let us start formally. Good morning, all. This is the big problem. Some guests are trying to join, and I am not allowing. Anyway, so hmm, yes, last class you may see we have given some improper integral. That means you know the proper integral. What is that? And improper integral basically we have divided by 6 parts, and some are type 1 and some are type 2. And this in type 1 is has infinite limit, and type 1 has infinite limit, but it is mainly the some points which has not the continuous of the function or of the integrand f of x. So we have discussed these different parts, and finally what we did, this integration we have taken like this, some finite value, and finally actually we need to, this integrand is exist or depend on the limit. So sometimes what happening, this limit is somehow difficult to check it. So to do that, we have some tools, but the tools is basically here we are talking about regarding the related to theorem parts. So we are going to give some theorems without proof. Mainly, main first some theorems. Our main target is finally beta and gamma function is actually the improper integral, and some people know the beta and gamma function. So I am giving some theory, and I am not discussing all theories of whatever written in the assignment. So you may try, but I am giving the important theories which we need to mainly check up for beta and gamma function. Fine. So let us start. Here, first mean value theorem. We are going to discuss some mean value theorem. And one thing is that another teacher already said in mean value theorem, probably in function of single variables. That is some different, and this is this mean value theorem for integral calculus. So be careful that. So now let us consider. Okay, someone asked one question: what is convergent and what is divergent? Okay, let me answer this question later on. Wait. So before the mean value theorem, definite integral, I'm writing short form, mean value theorem for definite integrals. Let f of x for definite integral. What is that? All this thing written in the assignment, you already got this PDF file. You may see, but still I am writing again shortly. So here, suppose f of x and phi of x, two functions. Functions depend on x, and both are bounded. So bounded means what? It should be, that means if we take the modulus value, that means mod of f of x, it should be some less than some finite value n. Some, you can say it is integer, some integer less than n. So these two functions are bounded function and integrable in the interval. We are taking like this 0 a less than or equal to x less than or equal to b. Suppose these two functions are bounded, integrable on the interval a b, and another condition we are taking, phi of x keeps same value in the interval this, same value in the interval this, a less than or equal to x less than or equal to b. This means what? That means this is either always positive, these values, if you put any values of x, a and b, lie between a and b, such that this phi of x either always negative or always positive. So keeps this same value. Then we can conclude that. Then we can conclude the integration over a to b. So okay, here f of x, phi of x dx equal to, we can write like this, integration over u, integration of a to b, phi of x dx. So here you see I used mu without mentioning what is this. Mu is a value of f of x in between a b. That means, so here we can say right like this, where m less than or equal to mu less than or equal to m. So here m is actually, we are taking the bounded function. That means this, something like this. M is less than or equal to mod f of x less than or equal to m. That means, so lower bound and upper bound of f of, this is f of x. And basically like this mu equal to f of zeta, some function where zeta belongs to a and b. So one thing is that why we are using this one. This one sometimes it is difficult to integrate, but sometimes it is easy to integrate this one. That means one function we are taking the outside of the integration. And so if this condition, so I repeat this theory, try to understand the properly written in the assignment. So these two functions f of x and phi of x is bounded. That means it is like this is f of x like bounded. That means mod of this is less than m. And so you can write like this way, without mod it is less than or equal to m. And also this is phi of x also bounded, something like this, some different value m1. Okay, bounded and integrable in the interval ab. Then we can just estimate something. This integration is equal to this with some mu, where mu is some value of f of x in between this. So when this mu is value something like this, we are putting any value in the interval ab. We are getting this. So this the theory. So what? That means we can estimate if we integrate this one from this integration, we can estimate this integration. So this is mean means average. We are considering mean value theorem, average value theorem. We are considering. So now let us consider some particular case. In this case, so particular case we can see this. So what we are getting. So if we put here. So if we take phi of x in this previous, so it is for simple form, we can say simple form of mean value theorem. If we take phi of x equal to 1, then what will happen? Okay, here you see mu equal to phi of, so we are getting integration over a to b, we are putting here f of x, phi of x equal to 1, so it is dx. Mu means this one, we are putting mu f of zeta, integration over a to b, f of phi of x equal to 1, so dx. And this implies we are getting this, from this side we can get a minus b, integration over a to b dx, and integrand is continuous and we can integrate this one. So we get phi of zeta equal to 1 upon b minus a. We are taking this one this side, integration over a to b f of x dx. So this is another mean value theorem for simple form. And some other mean value theorems are given Bonnet form and stress form. I'm not discussing this one because there is no importance according to your syllabus. There is no importance of this theory. So, but this theory we need to prove for the next theorems. Next means mu test. To prove mu test, we need these different forms: Bonnet form, stress form, and ratio. That means comparison test. So many tests we need. Then we can finally go to the mu test. We can prove the mu test. Since we are omitting the proof due to this shortage of time, we can say, or there is no importance in engineering also for prove this theorem, but this statement you need. That's why we are going to discuss. And so, using this theory, let us prove one theory. This problem also solved in the assignment, but still I am discussing. So, it is not easy actually. So, example, using this mean value theorem, we are trying to solve one problem. Let us take k square less than 1, then show that 5/6 less than or equal to integration over 0 to half dx over under root of 1 minus x square into 1 minus k square x square less than or equal to 5/6 into 1 upon under root of 1 minus k square zeta square. So our target is, since we get one theory, from that theory we try to prove this one. This mean from mean value theorem. So here you see the solution. Here in the integrand, you see this integrand here, f of x. Okay, not f of x. The integrand we can write like this part 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square, 1 minus k square x square. In this case, our target is we try to compare with this theory. So here, since the f of x, p of x, we need to compare, and so that you can see this. If we consider from here two parts, 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square and 1 upon under root of 1 minus k square x square. If we consider these two parts, we can compare with one is for f of x and another is for phi of x. So first we need to understand this one is, if we take this is phi of x, then it will help. And since this limit is a to b, here a equal to 0 and b equal to half, so we should take here a to b, or target this we take interval 1 to half. Since this is given 0 to half, and if we see this example, this function satisfying all conditions, that means this is bounded in the interval this, and this is positive, this is same sign always. So we can comparing with that. If we take this one, then we get. So using that theory, that is mean value theorem, we can put this equal to, so integration over 0 to half dx over under root of 1 minus x square into 1 minus k square x square. This equal to, we can write just comparing with the theory. Here mu into like this. So this we are taking f of x is out. If p of x is f of x is we are taking outside. So from f of x we can put here zeta of x. So here we can write 1 upon under root of 1 minus k square. K is some constant, and here zeta square. Zeta lie between 0 and half, and then we can write integration over 0 to half dx over under root of 1 minus x square. Fine. So this we can write, and now we are ready to integrate this one. So previous one, this one is somehow difficult to integrate, but this one you are familiar with this. So this integration you can do. So we are getting. So what is this integration? You can check this part integration of the. Okay, let us do this integration. So what is that? I am doing here integration 0 to half dx over under root of 1 minus x square equal to sin inverse x 0 to half. This is equal to, you can see, check, it is pi by 6. Now, so we can take this equal to, we can write pi by 6 into under root of, into 1 upon under root of 1 minus k square zeta square. So now, if we take zeta, since zeta here, this zeta lie between, zeta belongs to this one, 0 half. So these values, so you can see this one is somehow monotone, that means either increasing or decreasing. So if we take zeta equal to 0, we are getting it is 1. So it is going to less values, this portion. And if we take this half, then it is going to give a bigger value. So since it is monotone, so if we you can see here, if we take zeta equal to 0, we are getting lowest value. So we can consider pi by 6, we are getting k equal to 1. So this less than or equal to integration over 0 to half dx over under root of 1 minus x square into 1 minus k square x square less than or equal to, when we are putting this k equal to zeta equal to half, then we are getting pi by 6 into that actually 1 upon under root of 1 minus k square over 4. This proves the theory, this one, to prove that question was this, show that this one. Recording no one stopped, that's good. And, okay. So we have done this. Now there is some ratio test we are not going to do. You will learn the ratio test, comparison test. This is in series, and there is a relation actually in series convergent or divergent, and this integrand is convergent or divergent, because last class we have given one thing that this integration means actually summation of some parts. That means it can be infinite series. So this integration also we can convert it in infinite series, or oppositely some infinite series we can convert in integration. But in integration it need to continuous, but in series without continuous we can do. So there is some comparison test and ratio test, integral test we are not going to do. We are directly moving from here to the mu test. Two mu test we need. Since we are not going to prove these ones, that's why without this we can do without this comparison test and ratio test. So this first theorem is important, mean value theorem. You should learn, and this another two I am giving, mu test 1 for type 1 and mu test 2 for type 2. So let us discuss mu test for type 1. So, mu test for type 1. Type 1 means it is the this limit, that means we are taking like this integral here. This limit is infinite. This is type 1, f of x dx. So let us consider, suppose f of x is integrable. So suppose f of x is integral function when x greater than or equal to a. Then this integration f equal to integration over 0 to f of x dx converges absolutely converges absolutely if this condition limit x tends to infinity x to the power mu, I am using this mu, f of x equal to lambda for some lambda greater than 1. Sorry, this is mu. Anyway, mu greater than 1. And if diverges if limit x tends to infinity x to the power mu f of this function equal to lambda not equal to 0. So lambda it should be finite not equal to 0 and finite. Okay, no need to finite or plus minus infinity or some mu less than or equal to 1. So this the theory. Okay. So here you see this is type 1. If integration is like this 0 to infinity f of x, so you can do directly like that in the integration limit case, but it is somehow difficult. But sometimes it can may be difficult. But without going that, this mu test sometimes help you. So this integration is convergent or divergent, we can say it like this. If we say the limit x tends to infinity, x to the power mu, with some mu, we can put any value, mu greater than 1. And if we get this is equal to some finite value mu, finite value lambda, then we can say that this f is convergent. This integration is convergent. Or if this condition satisfied, that is limit x tends to infinity, x to the power mu f of x equal to lambda, that is this mu is somehow less than or equal to 1. Lambda not equal to 0 or infinite, it should be not equal to 0. Then this we can say that this integration over 0 to infinity f of x dx is diverges. So you should apply this and for mu test for type 2, that means the limit is finite but somewhere it is not continuous, something like this. So mu test for type 2. That type 2 means it should be integration is finite in limit. That means here f we consider integration a to b f of x dx. So this is type 1, and so now let f of x is integrable function. So again like this, let f of x is integrable function in an arbitrary interval. Arbitrary interval, what it will be the, that means suppose it is not continuous at the point a, then a plus epsilon comma b, where epsilon is a small, generally small quantity, and we can write like this: epsilon is lie between 0 less than epsilon less than b minus a. Generally we take, that means we are just omitting this position a with plus some epsilon, just previous like previous class. Then if this condition satisfied, then this integration f is convergent. Then f is converges absolutely if limit x tends to a plus, you know this type of x minus a equal to the power mu f of x equal to lambda for some 0 less than mu less than 1, and diverges, and if is diverges if limit x tends to a plus x minus a mu f of x equal to lambda not equal to 0. It may be infinite, so or plus minus infinity for some mu greater than or equal to 1. So these two mu tests we should, and where should we apply? We are clear. If the limit is finite, we should think for the test 2, type 2, and if limit is infinite, we should think for type 1. But here, keep in mind the concept is this side is fine. That means if the limit is infinite, then we should take x tends to infinity, and if limit is finite, then we should take the x tends to a plus. This is fine, and it is in this case if you compare these both, then here same type of some x to the power mu it gives into f of x. Here also x to the power mu into f of x. Here also you see x minus a whole to the power mu f of x, and here x to the power a minus mu f of x. But the problem is here we are taking in the mu type 1, we are taking here mu greater than 1, then it is convergent. But in type 2 it is mu less than 1, that is mu should lie between 0 and 1, then it is convergent. So it is difficult to remember this which one is greater than 1 and which. So this is somehow interchanged. So this mu for type 1 it is mu greater than 1, then convergent. For type 2 mu less than 1, it is convergent. So that we need to remember. And so we try using this theory, we try to prove some problems so that it is convergent or divergent. So let us try using mu test. So now example. So that this is convergent 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square dx. So this integration is not easy. Anyway, we'll learn later on. We can do this integration quickly, but without doing the integration, this is we are getting some finite value or not. To check that one, we can apply mu test. So here, integrand, that means f of x equal to here e to the power minus x square. Now, since limit is infinite, we should use the mu test for type 1. That means we should take the limit x tends to infinity, x to the power some value 1 or 2 or negative whatever into e to the power minus x square. So our target is it is showing that so that it is convergent. So our target is we want to show that this is convergent. So now we can take here you follow mu is greater than 1. It is given we should take mu greater than 1. So we should take here. We can take for simplicity, no need to bigger one. If we take 2, then what is happening? This is equal to C limit x tends to infinity x square over e to the power x square. So this is equal to what? So both are upper half x square goes to infinity and lower half lower part also e to the power x square goes to infinity. But you see this is equal to 0 because the increasing the rate of increasing this numerator is less than the denominator. The rate of increasing of the denominator is very high. It is more. So that's why. So lower part is increasing rapidly, upper part is increasing slowly. So it is goes to actually 0. So we are getting now if we compare with that. So here first if we compare this type, lambda for, that means lambda means some finite value. So we are getting some finite value. So we can conclude that this is convergent. This integral, this limit. So we conclude that integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square dx is convergent. Fine. Now let us take another one. Okay. Okay, let me say this one. Example 2. It is done also in the assignment, but we should understand. 1 to infinity e to the power minus x square x to the power n dx. So here again f of x, so it is shown that this is converges for all values of n. So that this is converges for all values of n. Here again f of x equal to this part e to the power minus s square x to the power n. Now if we take, again we'll think for mu test. So if we take like this, limit x tends to infinity, again if we take x square, then if we take x square into f of x, that means e to the power minus x square x to the power n, this equal to limit x tends to infinity x to the power n plus 1 over e to the power minus x square. It is plus x square. This means, you see again, same logic, it is actually 0. So just previous same logic, we can say that for any n, whatever the n is, it is always 0, because the below part is the increasing rate of the denominator is very high, so it is goes to 0 always. That's why we can conclude that this is convergent. Minus x square x to the power n dx is converges for all values of n. Okay. Now this is all about the type 1. Let us take one example for type 2. Okay. So I am taking one simple problem. So let show that this is diverges. Okay. Integration over 0 to pi, since this limit is finite, so that this is sin x over x cube dx is diverges. So it is easy when we are saying that show that it diverges or convergent. But if we just change the question, say test this is convergent or divergent, then you need to think more. So be careful that you need to both side, this part or that part, which one is satisfying. But keep in mind both will not satisfy. Any one will satisfy. So it goes to any one part. So this part we need to show that this is diverges. And this is type 2. You see this limit is, and so what we will do? We will do limit x tends to a plus. So here 0 plus. And x minus a, so here x whole to the power some mu into f of x. So it is sin x over x cube. And we need to show it is diverges. So here mu should be greater than or equal to 1. So for this case, we need to do diverges, we need to do greater than or equal to 1. For simplicity, if we take x equal to 2, then you see this will be some known part. If we take mu equal to 2, limit x tends to 0 plus x square sin x over x cube. This is equal to limit x tends to 0 plus, it is sin x over x, and you know that this is 1. This limit is 1, and so So we can say that this is divergence. Fine. And some other examples done in the assignment, that means whatever I have given, and some exercises also given, you try to solve. Now I am going to discuss another two problems that is important actually, mainly important and need to convergence. So that too you should understand. First thing is that this one. So discuss the convergence of this series or of this integration. So this is important. Sorry. Integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx. We are taking n greater than 0. So here you follow both are somehow mixed up. That means if n is, you see here f of x equal to integration over minus x to the power n minus 1. When n lie between 0 and 1, then this part is negative. N lie between 0 and 1, then this part is negative, and this integrand is goes to discontinuous. So to show this one, to prove this one, we need to divide these two parts. So this equal to we can take, okay, we are taking I, first part, 0 to 1, we are taking the e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx plus I2, then this equal to, we are considering I1 plus I2. And here I1 equal to this first part plus, and I2 equal to integration over 1 to infinity e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx. And here you see left part I1 is mu test for, this is finite case, so it is mu test for type 2, and this is mu test for type 1. So for first one, you see integrand is this one, and if we take limit type 2, first part is type 2, limit x tends to, and we are trying to take, actually in this case n is like, when you see this one, when n greater than 1, it is proper integral, there is no issue. But if n is lie between 0 and 1, then there is an issue because it is converted to improper integral and it is discontinuous at the point 0. So we check it at the point 0, it is convergent or divergent. So this at the point 0, so we are taking x to the power, here tactfully we are taking like this, 1 minus n. Then it will easy to check into e to the power minus x into x to the power n minus 1. And this equal to, you see, since we have taken this mu equal to, we are considering actually 1 minus n. And simplifying, we are getting limit x tends to 0 plus e to the power minus x, and 0 plus, not 1, sorry. And this is actually gives 1. So this is 1. And you see, since it is finite value, lambda not equal to 0, so we can conclude that, and this is convergent if this mu lie between 0 and 1. So here mu equal to, we are considering 1, mu equal to, we are considering 1 minus n, and it is convergent if this lie between 0 and 1. And this implies actually 0 less than 1 minus n less than 1. This is implying what? N lie between 0 and 1. So we are getting n lie between, this implies that n lie between 0 and 1. So this series is convergent when n lie between 0 and 1. And we have taken n greater than 0, we are not considering n negative, and you can say actually easily, if n negative, then it is divergent. So that's why we are not considering this part. And for this part, right, I2, we need to mu test for type 1. So to do that, we will take like this, limit x tends to infinity, it should be type 1. And if we take x, integral. So if we take x square into f of x, if we take x square into f of x is given this x into e to the power. We are considering n greater than 1, e to the power minus x into x to the power n, x to the power n minus 1. So this equal to, see, since we are considering x goes to infinity and n is greater than 1, n is greater than or equal to 1. If n equal to 1, you can see it is 0. So this is simplifying, we are getting x to limit, this equal to limit x tends to infinity, x to the power n plus 1 over e to the power x, and it is converted to 0. And the same logic, when n is greater than or equal to 1, it is, whatever the n greater than or equal to 1, it is converted to 0. So this I2 is convergent. This I2 is convergent and I1 is also convergent. So you can conclude that this integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus x, x to the power n minus 1 dx is convergent for n greater than 0. And this function has a special name. And we have shown that this integration has convergent for the value n greater than 0. And this is special name, we call this is gamma function. Some people already know, and you solved some problem, gamma function we denoted by gamma n, equal to integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus x, x to the power n minus 1 dx, n greater than 1, greater than 0. So this is important, gamma function, we called it is and this is improper integral, and this gamma function, that is this type of integration, application of this type of integration is used, that means we will use frequently in engineering branch this gamma function, this gamma n, not x, keep in mind. That means after integration it gives some values of in terms of n, so it is gamma n. And we are going to discuss some properties of this gamma function later on. Before that, today's class, I am going to give another function. This, that is convergent or divergent properties. That is, hope you are guessing. Mainly it is beta function. We are going to beta function. So in gamma, keep in mind limit is infinite and beta is limit is finite. So let us consider another function, something like this. Integration over 0 to 1 x to the power m minus 1 minus x whole to the power n minus 1 dx, and we are taking m greater than 0, n greater than 0. If we say, we can say it easily actually, if n less than or equal to 0, n less than or equal to, it will divergent. But we are considering this is now let us say this is convergent or not when m greater than 0, n greater than 0. So one thing is, see, when m greater than 1 and n greater than 1, this is proper integral. There is no discontinuity. But if when m is less than 1 but greater than 0, m is lie between 0 and 1, then this part is going to be low, and at the point x it is discontinuous. What about the values of n? And in this n, if n is lie between 0 and 1, this integration is discontinuous at the point 1. So this improper case has at the point 0 or 1 depend on the m and n. So when m is lie between 0 and 1, then it is improper, and then it is discontinuous at the point 0, and when n is lie between 0 and 1 n, then it is improper or it is discontinuous at the point 1. Now, so we can divide this one in two parts. So we can take this I equal to, we are dividing again these two parts, I1 equal to integration 0 to, since both side it is discontinuous, so can write 1, 0 to half in between. We are defining x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x all to the power n minus 1 dx, and plus, that means this equal to, and I2 equal to integration half to 1 x to the power n minus 1 minus x all to the power n minus 1 dx. Now let us say first one. So this is this is convergent or not. So convergent means it should be some finite value. Divergent means the summation, that means when we are summing it should be infinite, that means or oscillate. Two cases, not a fixed value. So our target is we want to show that this is convergent. How can we show? I am giving only one part. Total done in this assignment. You can see, you can read it. I am trying to give one part only. So here you see I1 plus I2 equal to this original one. So if we take one, and then do one by one, then we can do both. That means finally you can conclude. So if we do only first one, and similar way you can do second one, and after adding both to see if both are convergent, then we can conclude that the original one is convergent. So for first one, you see if we take like this, that since it is type 2, limit x tends to, at the point origin we are taking I1, we are considering just I1 at the point origin. If m is lie between 0 and 1, m greater than 1, it is convergent always. There is no discontinuity here. Co-parental is converted. So we are taking limit x tends to 0 plus for first one, and we are taking 1 minus x to the power 1 minus m f of x equal to limit x tends to 0 plus, we are writing x to the power 1 minus m into f of x, means this x to the power m minus 1 minus x all to the power n minus 1, this one. And whatever n is, you see it is not discontinuous, only discontinuous was this one. So this equal to, we can convert, you see limit x tends to 0 plus, it is, this portion is cancelled, and it is 1 minus x all to the power n minus 1, and it is, you see, this equal to 1. For x tends to 0, this is 1. And so for mu test for type 2, here this one, if this one is lie between 0 and 1, then it is convergent. You see, we gave this one. If this one is convergent, type 2, if this 1 minus m lie between 0 and 1, then it is convergent. That means, so this mu equal to 1 minus m. So 0 less than 1 minus m less than 1. This implies similar way, just previous one, 0 less than m less than 1. So type 2 mu test, it gives that this portion is convergent. That means this I1 is convergent for any values of n. This I1 is convergent for any values of n. And for similar way you can do this I2, or we can say do another way, that means if you interchange, that means x and y, or if we take 1 minus x equal to y, then this automatically will change. That means this variable, if we change the variable, then this converted to I1. That means since I1 is convergent, so that one will be convergent, just changing the variable. So from that you can conclude that I1 and I2 is convergent for all values of n greater than 0 and n greater than 0. So we can conclude that this one is convergent. And this is called the beta function. So convergent part, that means these two functions, convergent part you should see clearly, read clearly, it is given in the assignment or written part, but you should understand. I gave some idea. So this function, so I am defining here, denoted by beta here, beta of m comma n, whatever I have written here, m comma n, m comma m equal to integration over 0 to 1 x to the power k